right, guys, welcome back. Another day, another video. Let's jump right into it. We got lots to talk about. First of all, let's talk about the gamers lawsuit. If you haven't been following, a gamers lawsuit has been filed and is put together by 10 gamers that you would assume are PlayStation fans, because if you're a PlayStation fan, you're probably out there trying to go rooting for this deal to get blocked, as PlayStation themselves absolutely do not want this deal to go through. And recently the case actually got dismissed, but it looks like it is now back with an amended filing. And one of the things that we have discovered through this amended filing is that Sony has actually been providing key documents to the gamers who are suing Microsoft, Activision Blizzard, and this entire merger. It says here that 10 gamers have banded together to sue to block the Microsoft Activision merger under the parts of the Clayton Act, and new court filings reveal that Sony has provided documents to the plaintiffs. Now, to be fair, they were subpoenaed. There were multiple companies subpoenaed in this case in order to provide the documents, but most of them just didn't produce them because the case had been dismissed. In fact, you have NVIDIA saying this: they refuse to produce any documents or engage with plaintiffs until plaintiffs have filed an amended complaint, which now would be the case. Nintendo as well had avoided providing the documents, but Sony themselves stepped up to the plate to make sure that the gamers got the documents that they were looking for, because obviously this is an opportunity for Sony to put another roadblock in this merger if they somehow end up winning this case at the 10 gamers, that is. Now, here is what this update reads for the case. It says on January 27th, 2023, plaintiffs issued a subpoena to Sony Interactive Entertainment and its CEO, Jim Ryan, in lieu of a deposition at this time. Sony agreed to produce documents to plaintiffs. Sony made a production of documents to plaintiffs on March 9th, 2023. Plaintiffs issued a second subpoena to Sony with a request for production of documents on March 10th, 2023. After the entry of a supplemental protective order with an outside counsel only provision, Sony made a second production of material to plaintiffs on March 17th, 2023. Sony has advised plaintiffs, and Microsoft has confirmed that Sony will be producing these same documents to Microsoft. And when it comes to Microsoft looking at the gamers suing them, the gamers case, they are actually surprised here. They say, surprised to read that plaintiffs received document productions from Sony weeks ago, which I think a lot of people would be surprised, considering the fact that if you take a look at what was going on with the FTC, where they had been subpoenaed by Microsoft to provide documents for the discovery within the FTC case, Sony had kept pushing it off, asking for extensions and continuously trying to get the subpoena quashed, which, as you remember, it didn't happen. The judge ruled that Sony had to provide a long list of documents and a lot of important stuff that Microsoft was looking to provide. But when it comes to this case, where the gamers are suing Microsoft and the Activision Blizzard merger to try to block this deal, or to try to put a roadblock in front of this deal, Sony had no problem providing those documents, where with the FTC, they're saying it was just too difficult. They didn't have the time, the manpower, that type of stuff. And it was kind of a waste of time for them to provide documents, but obviously not when the case is in their favor. They're going to go out of their way to make sure those documents are provided. You can look at it as well on the other side. Now that these documents have been provided, like they say here, they're going to be providing those same documents to Microsoft, which they are going to be able to use as well when they go ahead and argue their case with the FTC and with these regulatory bodies. Microsoft is going to get access to a lot of information. Again, the interesting thing I'm looking forward to with documents being provided here is going to be the third-party stuff, the third-party deals that PlayStation makes with these different third-party developers, particularly with Square Enix, which we know what is going on with Square Enix with so many games just skipping Xbox. We may never actually see those documents. They never may come out to the public, but hey, there's a chance. You never know. There could be leaks. There could be a request for them to come public, and then they eventually do. So that will be interesting to see, and hopefully that information honestly does come out just for the business insight side of gaming. But gamers, the case is alive. They've submitted their amended case. And you could say probably just 10 PlayStation fanboys banding together to try to block this thing. But we will move on here to the next thing I want to talk about. And that is that Xbox has made another 10-year deal. And they said they were going to be making more. And they're continuously doing it. And this time it is with a company called EE. And here's what Phil Spencer tweets. Microsoft and EE are expanding our partnership with a 10-year commitment in cloud gaming to bring PC games built by Activision Blizzard following the acquisition and Xbox to EE customers. We are committed to bring more games to more people however they choose to play. And EE, another company just like Boosteroid and Ubisoft that I have no idea what company this was until Phil Spencer made these announcements, but this is continuously going along those lines of offering 10-year deals for the Activision catalog and Call of Duty to pretty much anybody that wants these deals. And we look up EE. It is a company in the United Kingdom, and it says here, EE, part of the BT Group, runs the UK's biggest and fastest mobile network, offering 4G in more places than any other UK network. EE was first to launch 4G in the UK in October 2012 and also first to launch 5G in May 2019. So they are a network provider, which you would assume they would be able to use that network to be able to allow customers to stream Xbox games over their EE network. So that's probably why they want to make this 10-year deal, and it does make a ton of sense. And again, for Xbox, it makes a ton of sense to continue to make deals with these companies because it is showing their goodwill and them not trying to monopolize the cloud gaming market, especially with the deals with like Boosteroid and Ubisoft, where it's a bring your own game service. It's a very smart business move because it satisfies remedies, I would say, for the regulatory bodies that are looking for remedies, specifically in cloud gaming. And it also, Microsoft knows that people are still going to be able to go out and buy Call of Duty anywhere they want, which Microsoft will make money off of, and they will know they'll be able to play that game on whatever service they want, which will satisfy customers. And the big thing right now with the CMA is particularly is those three things that they are looking at. The console harm theory, which has been destroyed. CMA changed their mind on that, and they said that Microsoft will not be able to partially or fully foreclose PlayStation. So you can throw that one out the window. And then the other two that we still don't know where the CMA has landed on is the cloud streaming stuff, where they were looking for remedies. They had said that what their issues were, and we'll see if this type of stuff here with the 10-year deals is going to satisfy the CMA and even the EU. And then the third thing that they're still looking at is the enforcement. How are they going to be able to enforce Microsoft's commitments after the deal is approved, if it gets approved? And that's something that if we've read through the documents on this channel, you can go check out those streams. They're long videos, but we read through everything and it goes over what Microsoft is going to do to enforce the commitments that they make. The biggest things are getting a third party in there to watch over the commitments. And if things go wrong, there's arbitrators, they talk it out, they go to the CMA, all of that type of stuff to make sure that the deal is enforced. So another 10-year deal, and I'm sure we're going to see more 10-year deals coming up before this entire thing is over. And we'll jump over here to another topic, and that is something that came into the news. It was pretty big. Everyone was talking about it, and it's gone away now, and it's seemingly back again. And we don't know what this means, but that is Project Keystone. So Project Keystone, as you remember, is that streaming box. A streaming box that Microsoft was making just to give people access to Xbox cloud gaming, no matter where they were, if they didn't have the Xbox cloud gaming app or the Xbox Game Pass app. And Phil Spencer was on a YouTube video, and on his shelf in the background where he reveals everything, it seems, is again the Project Keystone. It is still there. We've seen this before, but it seems like it's more front and center here. As you can see here in the top right corner, that little white box. I think there's a picture here that blows it up and uses AI to sharpen it. Yeah, there it is. And it looks essentially like a smaller, slimmer Xbox Series S. And this is apparently just going to be a box that costs $100 and comes with an Xbox controller. That's from what we understand. And right now, as well, from what we understand from previous reports, is that it is in the 2.0 phase of Project Keystone. It says here, we're told that essentially Keystone was a near pocketable device that simply ran the Xbox Game Pass app, already available on some TVs. Microsoft ultimately took it back to the drawing board for iteration. We heard that the main reason for this was to add support for third-party apps such as Netflix, YouTube, and other services. It remains to be seen whether or not Keystone 2.0 will make it into consumers' hands, but it does make a lot of sense. Spencer has teased upcoming products on his shelf in previous videos and interviews, including the Xbox Series S, as many outlets doubted its existence. So it could just be, again, something that Phil Spencer has on his shelf, or it could be him revealing it essentially. And we're just waiting for this thing to eventually be officially announced and to come out. And the question is, will it come out? Will they announce it, or is it still something that's going to stay in prototype forever? I think because of Xbox's strategy, it makes absolutely complete sense to release Project Keystone. They care way more about the ecosystem and getting people to play on Xbox Game Pass and play within the Xbox ecosystem no matter what device they are on. This will just be another entry point, especially for a lot of the TVs out there that don't have access to Xbox Game Pass, because they have the marketing rights with Samsung TVs. But I mean, those aren't the only TVs people play Xbox on or play video games on. Then they're gonna have this option if it comes out, which is you spend $100, you're essentially spending what, $50, $40 or whatever for the actual box itself, because it is coming with a controller. So it's an extremely good deal. It'll be the cheapest entry into getting access to the biggest AAA games and all the first party Xbox games. So I feel like for a lot of people who don't want even the price tag of the Series S, which is an extremely low entry point, is still too much of an investment for them. Maybe they aren't the biggest gamers in the world, but they want to have something there that will give them access. This would be perfect, and I think it'll expand out. I think people would buy it. I honestly think even people with Xboxes in their homes already would go out and buy Project Keystone if they have multiple places that they want to play Xbox on. They have multiple TVs. I mean, I probably at some point would end up even purchasing this thing. So I think it will come out, and we'll just see what happens. And the other thing you got to keep in mind is they're making all these 10-year deals with all of these companies, and maybe they're waiting until all these 10-year deals are done, until the Activision Blizzard deal is finished, so that they can make sure that those apps for those companies that they've made deals with are in Project Keystone as well. And to finish off this video, just two quick things here. I'll just quickly rifle through this. There's a big update here for the Xbox Elite Series 2 Xbox Design Lab, which basically there's more colors. There's now a choice of 16 main colors for your top, back, case, 12 colors for the A, B, X, Y buttons, 17 different accent colors for the paddles and D-pad, and 25 accent colors for the rest of the controller, specifically for the Elite Series 2, which is pretty cool that they added this in to the Design Labs, where you can customize your controller, make it look exactly how you want to make it look. The Design Lab, in my opinion, in terms of customization, in terms of a thing that's just added on there, if you want to use it for the ecosystem for Xbox, is a great thing. It's really cool. I have one Design Lab controller that I didn't even make for myself, but it came out really, really good. And I feel like there will be a lot more people checking out this Elite Series 2 with more colors and more options. And then finally, a big announcement here that is always good is that PC Game Pass is now available in 40 new countries. So they're expanding and they're continuously bringing out this service to more and more people into more and more countries. And there's a large list here of 40 more countries that were added. So I don't know, maybe people who are watching this video right now are from one of these countries. Definitely go check out the list. And I think this is always great to see Game Pass expanding out, especially because it is a subscription service, it is a streaming service, and it's just a better way to democratize gaming when you're getting people from all these different countries to be able to just log in and check out what is available on the service itself. And I'm sure it will do pretty good. I want to know exactly some other countries other than North America where Game Pass does really well, especially like Japan. How well is Game Pass doing there with cloud gaming, with mobile, all that type of stuff? But I'm going to leave the video there, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe and let me know what you think about all the stuff that we talked about. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.
Bye.